Welcome back to the Ecstatics, part 3 of this monthly journey into the world and realm of ecstasy. Welcome to another inner pathway, another tributary of the great river, another branch of the tree of life. Welcome back to the wonder of our inner world, the transparency of our deepest intimacy. Isn't that a wonderful word? Intimacy. Into me, see. That's what we do. We see into each other. I'm inviting you in to see into me, into the one heart, into the core of being. Today we're going to be looking at a truly awesome being, Anandamayi Ma. And the title I've given to this ecstatic is The Ecstasy of Evanescence. September, October, November, autumn. This is a time of evanescence, a time of vanishing. The new winds are here, sweeping down from the north and the east. I like to think of the place where the winds spring from, perhaps some quiet clearing deep in the Ural Mountains of northern Russia. And they begin there as a gentle eddy, the softest zephyr, slowly spiraling through the oceans of pine trees, tumbling and whirling down the icy rivers, tickling the mouths of the leaping salmon, furrowing the hairs on the backs of the black bears, picking up the smells, the vibrations, brushing against the feet of the children, softening the frown of a dying man, and then sweeping down into the great cities, Vladivostok, Murmansk, and then rising up on the terrific power of the northern reaches of the great seas and coursing across the great wilds of Scandinavia until they reach my island, Great Britain, England. Have a think about where the winds come from and where you live now and how far they've travelled and perhaps where they began. And as I stood recently on an ancient hilltop, my home area of Dartmoor, an ancient tract of land, with my 3-year-old boy Ambrose standing next to me, we opened our arms to receive these amazing, wonderful new winds, full and fresh against our faces. It was a boy and his father rising together in ecstasy. Ah, the winds of change, eh? The winds of change. September is always October, November, September, October, November, autumn. It's always a time of endings. Autumn comes, and when it comes it cleanses. It's a time for goodbyes. You have to say goodbye to the summer. You have to say goodbye to all the fruits of the summer, all its hopes, all its promises, all its wonders. That's what evanescence is. It's the disappearing. It's the saying goodbye. The ending, the vanishing, the farewell, the sadness, the beauty, the letting go. I'm drawn to think of all the many pathways through the ecstatic realms. With Mother Julian, who we started with, we travelled through the ecstasy of the Mother, of nature, of Christ, the Passion of Christ. We've journeyed with Rilke last time, and through the intensely beautiful ache of his language that stretches out into the void to capture those fleeting gulps of ecstasy that he takes, to soothe our parched mouths. And today, tonight, we surrender into the evanescence of ecstasy, right into the heart of the transmission of ecstasy. Because you and I cannot exist together in ecstasy. One of us has to go. There's no room for any doubt or any fear in this realm. So let's leave that at the door. Let's take off our shoes. Let's feel the bare earth coursing beneath our feet. Your life, whatever shape it's currently taking, whatever winds are curling around you, wherever the fates have brought you, whatever the stage you find yourself in, within the unfolding drama of your life and your destiny, here, now, you can step out of the drama, off the stage, and into the real, into the eternal, into the magical place within your being. Your body, that place of infinite softness and ease, that place of memory, that place of wonder and silence and light. So I'd like you to allow your life and your troubles to evanesce, softly, to vanish. Let them drift out of focus, like a film screen becoming hazier and hazier. Your friends, the faces of those you know and love, the faces of those that trouble you, those unknown but recognizable faces that you pass each day, you can let them fall away gently, just for this 1 hour, this single precious hour. No one and nothing is here but light, but peace. There are no faces in here, just the dawn of time, just the smile of creation. So we're looking at this amazing sacred being, a woman of unsurpassable beauty and splendor, of great simplicity and mystery. She was known as Sri Anandamayi Ma. She's been called many things: an Indian saint, an avatar, an embodiment of the Divine Mother, an enlightened one. But you know, none of these names can touch her. None of them. Not what she really is. And that's why I've chosen her. Now, she is the ultimate expression of ecstasy possible in the human body. I hope that you begin to just imbibe a little bit of her presence, that evanescent ecstasy, the ecstasy that makes you disappear, because that is the zenith of ecstasy. That is the culmination of ecstasy. You have to give yourself up to it. You have to risk everything. You have to die. So I'm going to approach this monologue differently, in a new way. Because you can't approach a being like this in a straight line. You just can't. Not through her biography, not through her story, no matter how interesting it may be to you. I leave that up to you if you're interested. You know, it's all there on the web nowadays. You can find out anything you want about anyone. So all you need to really know about her is that she was born in India at the end of the 19th century. She lived almost a century until 1900 and something or other. Check it out. I'm not bothered. The rest, well, we can only move around her in a circular kind of meditative dance, in a blazing contemplation of light and truth and wonder. So please, just let it all go now. No need for your curiosity here. No need for your mind. No need for your understanding. No need for your knowledge. Wherever you look at Anandamayi Ma, through whoever's eyes, wherever I've come across quotes or stories or anything about her, it's like it's like no one has found it possible to be anything other than awed. And that's an extraordinary thing. And I heartily invite you to find a photograph of her and look at it. Particularly the one, there's a famous one of when she was young and she's kind of gazing out, up, and you can see the ecstatic energy in her eyes. You can see the evanescence. You can see that she's vanished. So today we're going to move directly into the heart of her, of she who lives with and in the divine. Ecstasy is all about the divine feminine. Names she has none, faces a million. Words, they've long gone. It's just a memory somewhere inside you. Some part of you deeply buried. A woman, Ananda Mayi Ma. She pretended a name. She might just as soon use your own name. Doesn't make any difference to her. The name, the face, the life, the biography, the story. She can't even pretend to be a she. She lives, though, deep within the heart of your blood, where she never dies. She never sleeps. She never dreams. She simply waits. And she's waiting there now, inside you. She's waiting for you. She's waiting for your time to come. She's waiting for you to recognize the essential. She's waiting for you to let go of the drama and meet her here within. She is light, divine light, silver light, gold light, pure light, the light of silence, the light of overwhelming ecstasy. How will you contain her? How can you encompass such a being? You can't. You can't. What will become of you? What will become of you when finally you let her explode inside your heart? What will your life appear like? Have a think about that now. Open up your imagination. Take some moments. Allow her to reshape your life. Just a few minutes. Let her use your imagination. Imagine what would change in your life to look out through eyes like hers. Because she is you without fear. She is you living at your absolute zenith, claiming all powers, devoid of all desires, rich beyond measure. Imagine that to be you. Ananda Mayi Ma. She's appeared in many guises, both man, woman, child, animal, plant, you name it. Over a century ago she came as Ananda Mayi Ma, a small Indian girl born in a poor Bengali town, an unknown life, another of millions of children born every year out on the gentle green and blue planet we live on. Was she different from anywhere else? No. She's the same as you and I. She's here now inside us, waiting, always waiting. Nothing special. No one special. And yet, yes, she was different. At the age of 3, she heard the chants of the holy monks outside her house, and immediately she fell headlong into ecstasy. That ecstasy was never to leave her for the rest of her life. I mean, imagine that. How can this be? How is it that we fall asleep and that we forget? How is it that some remember so candidly, so quickly like that? I've considered this. I've gone very deeply into this woman. For her, for Anandamayi Ma, it was to be her last visit to this beautiful planet. One final incarnation. One final exquisite, heart-aching sigh before she disappeared forever into that which she loved above all else. All that sadhana, spiritual practice, all that devotion, all those chants, all those millions of incarnations, trying to slough off the crude, sticky, clinging atoms of the coarse frequencies of the form. All the prayers from all her lives, of all the years, months, days, and every last second of devotion has brought this about. All that pressure she has had to go on building, dreaming the light in, coaxing it into the subtle bodies, and the sacrifices she has made along the way, her friends, her parents, her desires, her personal dreams, her collective dreams for harmony, for humanity, all of it thrown into the one single aching, overarching desire, her longing to merge with the One. We pilgrims of the ecstatic plains, we should take heart from the life of this one woman. We really should take heart. For when one of us reaches this great, ineffable goal and passes into the center of the great weave, the amazing, awesome, unending place of truth, the door opens wider for all of us inside us. She's there, calling us now to come in. Come in, she ushers. Come in, with her little Indian hands. Come in. All your desires, all your work, all your opinions, all are shadows of the one desire at your core, to return to that light, the pure light of the endless love that lies in your heart. Never stop, she says, never stop. Never tire or slacken the inner pressure of your longing. One day, she says, one day you will reach a life like I, in which all the work has been done before you arrive. Just one single tiny match, and you'll catch fire and burn forever. And perhaps that day is coming sooner than you think. Here in these changing times, when so much focus is on the world, the environment, politics, money, no money, relationships, family, work, these are times in which Your inner light can burn all the brighter times of intense change. The greater the pressure in your life, the more fortunate you are. Think about that. If you realize that, every trial you face is there for this one single purpose, to show you that only one option lies open to you. Only one. To remember love. However you choose to remember it, and however far you wander into the veils that obscure your love, that is the purpose of existence. To receive my love, to receive her love, my soft-hearted guidance within you. There's a man, some call him Hamsa Yogi. Others know him as Yogiraj Gurunath Siddhanath, a great Himalayan adept. He's still alive. He's in the lineage of the great Siddha Yogis, the royal path of the Himalayan masters. He speaks of his first meeting with Anandamayi Ma. She was the bliss-permeated mother. I had the good fortune to meet her on many occasions, and had many sweet memories in the aura of this divine being. One rainy afternoon I left home in haste. I was homesick, and I wanted to be absorbed in her presence. On reaching her ashram in Pune, I found the door to her room closed. I did not want to disturb her, but stood in the rain, my eyes transfixed on the door as if I would stare it open. It did open, but only after I had practiced rain yoga for 20 minutes or so, a mild tapa to wash away some negative karma before meeting with the divine, I thought to myself. She smiled and called me indoors, saying I was a stubborn child. And so I was. Before I sat, I proceeded to touch her feet, which she normally does not permit. But as I touched her feet, I was shocked to find my hands go through her bones and flesh to touch the floor. My body was electrified at that. I remembered that an avatar is an illusion of light in the illusion of the world. It can, at will, to increase a person's faith, make one experience his or her body of light. No flesh, no shadow, no karma. How can nobody have any karma? An avataric being is karmaless. When it does work in Maya, it leaves no samskaras. It's like writing on water. When the unliberated student does his daily chores or work, he creates karma. It's like writing on the sand. Uplifted and wonder-struck by this experience, I settled in a trance-like state and saw her radiance flooding the whole ashram and the whole countryside. As my body elongated, my consciousness left it to expand and merge in her wondrous aura. I was blessed, and when I opened my eyes, the surroundings were still radiant with her presence. An hour later she said, "You are your own Guru. Go and spread the word of the Lord in far lands." And after that she went into Samadhi again. A wonderful account. Imagine the aura of such a being. She is a part of a great divine stream. The third aspect of the great Trinity, the Mother, Durga, Lakshmi, Kali, Saraswati, she who rides the swan of grace. She's the pure symbol of the fifth body in this journey through the layers of the Corpus Christi, the sacred rainbow body. The fifth body, if you recall, the Buddhic body, It's the place where ecstasy replaces emotion. Emotion exists entirely in the second body, the astral body. And only when the skies of the astral body are clear does the sun of ecstasy shine in its full radiance. Here's a little image for you. The earth is the physical body. Its rivers, streams, energies are the etheric body that runs through the earth, the physical body. The astral body are the cloud realms, the clouds. The mental body is the sky, the blue sky. The causal body is the stratosphere, where the sky meets space, the earth's atmosphere, the ring pass not that leads to space. The causal body is that bridge. And beyond the causal body, beyond the earth's atmosphere, lies the solar system. And that's the Buddhic body, the sun, the aura of the sun. As far as the sun shines into space, that is the Buddhic body. As you can see, it's huge, it's vast, it's beyond our comprehension. That is the body of ecstasy. In the tradition of the initiations, the 9 initiations, this is information contained in the gene keys, and it's contained in the 22nd gene key, and where the 9 initiations are listed. And one day I will teach these in much more depth. The 2nd initiation and the 5th initiation and the 8th initiation are octaves of each other, and that happens throughout the 9, the 1, the 4, the 7, the 2, the 5, the 8, the 3, the 6, the 9. They're echoes of each other. And the top 3 initiations are initiations beyond humanity. In other words, the enlightenment, what we call enlightenment, that occurs at the 6th initiation. And beyond that is a great mystery, because those 3 initiations, the 7th, the 8th and the 9th, these all have names. The 7th is the ordination, the 8th is the sanctification, and the 9th is the glorification. Particularly the 8th is that Anandamayi Ma belongs to the tradition of the 8th initiation, because what she is an avadhut. That is a tradition through the yogic systems. There's a tradition called the avatar, and the avatar begins at the 7th initiation. In other words, an avatar is when divinity incarnates into form, as opposed to humanity rising up and attaining divinity. That's the 6th initiation. So she was a woman who attained the 6th initiation, and it's a rare occurrence, but it has occurred before, that the secret to this is the causal body. I'm explaining this in the middle of our meditation, and I hope that it continues our meditation in a contemplative way, because this is important to understand. The causal body, remember the stratosphere, that is the aspect of our nature that continues to incarnate. And when you leave this plane at the 6th initiation, the causal body dissolves. It is said that you cannot return to the earth plane. You have exited samsara and you have entered another higher evolution. Some beings, however, can hold back their causal body so that they can return in a following incarnation. And this is the case with Anandamayi Ma. These beings are called avadhut. The avadhut. They are the bridge to the avatar. Out of this came the tradition of the bodhisattva, the one who holds back their enlightenment until everyone on the planet is enlightened. Anandamayi Ma arrived on this planet in this incarnation completely ready. So she held back something. That being held something in the causal body so that she could return and bring that radiance. And it began for her at the age of 3. And for most of us, our greatest work now is to be found on this astral plane. Every emotional reaction we have to any stimulus either brings more clouds into our inner sky, or it clears those clouds. The deeper we open our hearts, the better the weather becomes. I want you to understand that your astral body is absolutely real. It is a living, vibratory field around your body. It governs your inner rhythms, your daily moods. Above all, it governs your desires. And because it's the closest in vibration to the physical body, your emotions impact your physical body in a very, very, very profound way. And there's this relationship obviously between the mental plane, which is the next layer, and the emotional plane, the mind and the feelings. And the mind is further away from the body, the physical body, than the feelings. So the feelings are so important. They're so important because they directly affect our health and the health of the physical body and the way we feel. Every feeling, every desire. Anandamayi Ma reminds us of the greatest of all the emotional truths. And it's that all desires are really a single desire in varying levels of disguise. In other words, whatever you're trying to bring into your life, whatever it is you're wanting to get rid of, whatever it is you yearn for, it's all just the light that you're really wanting. And the light is hidden inside your DNA. If you need more money, it's the light you need. If you're feeling unhappy or restless or sad, it's because you're missing the light. If you want someone to change, or you're feeling resentment or irritation towards someone, it's because you've forgotten the light inside. If you really want that piece of cake in the window, it's really the light. If you want that new car, or that piece of technology, guys, it's the light. Ladies, the new pair of shoes, a new outfit, a new haircut, it's the light. Sex, if you want sex, it's the light. If you want, it's always the light that you want. I've had an immense fun with this woman. She's actually been with me since the very beginning of the ecstatics. I've carried her. She's been underneath all of them. I mean, we're still just at the beginning of this journey, but I feel like I begun with her. And at Mother Julian and Rilke, there's other two I've done, and all the others that I will do are contained within her. And as I've moved in my own being into deeper empathy with Anandamayi Ma, this is the central clear message she's imparted to me. It's about desire. All desire is for the light. And a daily immersion in this truth will change you. It's changing me. It resets the core focus of your life. because no matter what happens on the surface, beneath, the light is all that matters, and the light's inside you. Nothing on the surface matters. Matter is nothingness. True ecstasy is evanescence. Evanescence is when the boundaries dissolve. It's when things go out of focus. It's when you let the boundaries of your outer world soften. You let that eternal autumn of the inner light bring dissolution to your being. Let it dissolve you. As you allow yourself gradually to disappear into this light, into this love. And then all that remains is the light. Pure, true, simple, silent. Just like Ma's eyes. The Avadhut. What it means is one who is set apart for special purpose. Each one of you who's listening to this, you are somewhere along this evolutionary path of initiations. You may be at the first, you may be at the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, who knows? Only you know. And it's great to realize that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And that light inside you, inside your very DNA, that is all that matters. Right now, that's all that matters. If you make that your focus, the focus of everything, if you begin to realize that everything is just about that, then you become aligned with these extremely high initiations. And that this being that's beyond our understanding, that's not a single being, that begins to pull us towards itself. They say that the third is the charm. Bless them. Well, this third transmission, it's really opened up a doorway inside me. You know, I hope it has for you. I hope it has. And under my Ma, I'm out of words, really. You know, I don't have any more words to say around her. She's that spirit of grace that works inside you, even when you don't know it. Especially when you don't know it. Especially when you're really in a tough spot. That's when she's there. And this is the thing about grace. I've said it with Mother Julian. All you have to do is ask. Inwardly ask for her grace. Once, twice, as many times as you need to. Deep within your heart, she always hears you. Because she is you. She's so delighted to hear from you. She'll arrange everything for you. You just have to allow yourself to evanesce. You have to be soft to be an ecstatic. You have to be intensely soft. You have to be so soft that you penetrate everything. Everything. You have to vanish into that infinite softness, into the voluptuous syrup of her love. And then all will be well, and all will be well with your life. I have no more words for you today, but I wish you my deepest love, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, Bella.